Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Janelle and I upload new videos every Wednesday and Friday. And in today's video, I'm doing a super affordable drugstore get ready with me. But yeah, I'm super obsessed with this look and how it came out. It's super springy, and the fact that it's affordable is just like icing on the cake. And then the most important part of an affordable get ready with me is not only your makeup, but a good affordable fragrance. So Dossier recently reached out to me. No, it's not sponsored. And if you guys don't know about Dossier, you guys are sleeping. They literally make dupes of super high-end affordable fragrances on a budget for literally like 29 bucks. They do duplicates of like Chanel fragrances, Tom Ford for 29 bucks. So I recently got the fragrance Woody Hyacinth. I can never pronounce anything. And this is supposed to be a dupe of the Chanel Chance fragrance. To me, it smells like a combination of Chance and Chanel Mademoiselle. And you guys, this fragrance literally stays put all day. It smells super expensive and luxurious, but literally it's only $29. If you guys like a super clean, fresh scent, you guys would love this one. It has notes of hyacinth, lemon, pineapple, middle notes of jasmine, pink pepper, and patchouli, and base notes of vanilla, vetiver, and orris. I don't know what that is. It smells so good, and like I said, it lasts all day. I definitely feel like the one that I got is more of a unisex scent. Like, it's super clean and just fresh, perfect for the spring and summer. And the fact that I can smell super expensive for 29 bucks, I'm not mad at it. So yeah, I just figured it'd be super fitting to talk about it in an affordable get ready with me. So if you guys are interested in any of their products, like I said, I'll leave it linked down below, as well as the discount code. Again, not sponsored, not affiliate links, just shouting them out. So without any more rambling, let's jump into the rest of this super affordable get ready with me. So I already started off by prepping my skin. I applied my Honest Beauty Vitamin C Serum and my CeraVe moisturizer. I'm now just gonna quickly go in with SPF. This is the Super Goop one. Don't mind the fact that it looks all janky there. I normally use this to blend out my eyeshadow to give it a nice straight edge. That's why it looks like that. I also really love the glow that this gives the skin. Now I'm gonna go in with my NYX Marshmellow Primer. I talked about this in my recent favorites video and I have been loving it. What I love most about this primer is how it smooths out the skin, but also gives a nice like hydrated base, so that way when I go in with my foundation, it just has like a nice like tacky hydrated base to stick to. Because I find that sometimes smoothing primers will smooth, but then they'll like mattify the skin, and whenever my skin is on the drier side, then my foundation just kind of like sits on top and doesn't melt in if it doesn't have that tacky base to it. For foundation today, I'm going to be using the Hailey's Beauty Reform Foundation. I recently rediscovered this and I am obsessed. I remember I did an all-day wear test of this last year. This was still when I was in Florida and my skin was like still more normal to oily. However, my skin has been so much drier lately, and this foundation works perfect for me here because it's like the right amount of hydration, but then it's still like sets to a nice satin matte finish. And I have found that this is transfer proof with mask. Like, it's the one foundation that wears super great all day underneath of my mask, gives me beautiful coverage but doesn't look too cakey. I'm gonna go ahead and dip in my favorite beauty sponges. This is the Beaky beauty sponge. I think I'll grab a fresh one though. You guys, this sponge is everything. Way better than a beauty blender. You guys need to get it. And I found that a little of this foundation goes a very long way. Mine is in the shade 3.25. And do you guys see my tan? Like, straight up mask me. Everywhere else on my face is fine for the most part, like, but this area has been driving me crazy. But you guys will see the coverage, like, so good. I was going through my makeup trying to like see what products to get rid of, and then also like set aside products that I honestly are just kind of like hidden, and I set them all like a part of new makeup and stuff. Well, not new makeup, literally shopping my collection of products that like I forgot about and haven't used in a while that I want to use again. This foundation was one of them, and I'm so happy that I rediscovered it because it has been a game changer these past couple of weeks. Okay, so now for concealer today, I'm using one of my favorite drugstore concealers, the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I'm obsessed with how great of coverage this concealer gives while still being hydrating, not too drying, not too cakey underneath of the eyes. And to get the most coverage out of it, I'm just gonna lay it down here first and then let it sit for about 30 seconds and then blend it out. That will just allow it to get tacky, so that way when I blend out the concealer, it's not too liquidy and it won't like spread everywhere and then like I'll end up losing that coverage. You let it get tacky, it'll kind of like set there, and then when you blend it out, it'll stay put a little bit more and give you more coverage. I'm also going to put some on my chin and on my nose. So then while that is setting, I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 355. It's just a really nice like caramel color. And I'm going to put this here. Now it's going to look really dark and like a lot, but I'm telling you, this stuff blends out so good. I'm going to blend out the concealer and I'm just going to be patting it kind of like in place. It's so funny. I've discovered so many new bomb drugstore products because every Friday it's kind of like my treat to myself. I go to Target after work and I'll do like some grocery shopping and buy some makeup, and like that's my new Friday night out. Now taking a small shader brush, I'm just kind of like blending up the sides of the nose contour and then also blending out down here, and then I'll just do a little like line across here with whatever's left on my brush. What do I want to use to blend out the contour? I'm going to use this MAC 109 brush, any sort of like small buff synthetic brush. I have so many flyaways that whenever I buff this out, it just gets everywhere. So how have you guys been? What has been new in you guys' life? Anything interesting? Anything that you guys like need prayer for? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm gonna take the butt of my beauty sponge and just make sure down here is really blended good, because I feel like I always forget a spot here and then I have like a brown splotch. Luckily the mask normally conceals it if I'm out and about, but there's nothing worse than when you don't have that and you can see the splotch. Fun fact, in my engagement pictures, I did cream contour and I forgot to blend out like a little line here. It drives me crazy. I'm just like, girl, well, I really like how my skin is looking right now. Next up, I'm gonna take my number 7 powder to buff out my face. I have two, and I don't know which one I like more. So I have my number 7. This is the transparent one. This is good for if your skin's more like combination oily. I find that this one's a little bit more mattifying, and I feel like it's a little sheerer. It's just like a sheer transparent powder. And then I also have the number 7 Lift and Luminous Triple Action Finishing Powder. This one's in light medium. I find that this one has a little bit more like coverage to it. I just feel like the powder picks up a little bit more. This is good for if you are more normal to dry. I do feel like though that this one gives me a smoother finish. I kind of want to do one on one side, one on the other, just to compare. And I think this is supposed to be the one that's actually the dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury powder. So I'm going to do this on one side and see. Before I do that though, I'm actually going to be applying my Maybelline Chiquite in Rose Blush. I was obsessed with this over the summer and I can't wait to use it again. I also really want to get the new e.l.f. cream blushes. Those seem so pretty. This is like my favorite brush for cream blush. It's the JH04 brush by Morphe. I like to really work it in the brush. And I normally like to apply this underneath of the powder, and then I'll apply a little bit more once I set my whole face. And I like to start like here and then just work it in. So pretty. So now I'll go ahead and set with this powder on one side, the more hydrating one, and then I'll do the other one on the other side. And when applying powders like this, I like to use a brush that's like fluffy, but still slightly dense enough to like pack on enough powder, but fluffy enough to like not cake it on too much. Yeah, so this one definitely mattifies a little bit more this side. This one you keep that glow a little more. But I will say this side, this powder, the number 7 Perfect Light Press Powder, I have found like it will keep my makeup on all day, even underneath of a mask. And even though my skin has been more normal to dry, I don't find that this is too mattifying to where like it overly dries out my skin. And you can still see the glow peeking through, which is nice. I also feel like this side looks less makeup-y. Yeah, I definitely think actually between the two, I prefer the like regular, slightly more mattifying one than this one. So now let's go ahead and bronze the face. I'm going to be using my Kokie Powder Highlight Contour Palette. The front looks like this. The inside reminds me a lot of the Kat Von D one. I'm using my Morphe M530 brush. It's looking crazy. And I'm going to take the middle color and use that to like slightly contour and bronze. And then I'll go in with a slightly shimmery bronzer afterward just to give a little more of a glow. This contour palette though is so nice and it blends out really nice too. I think you can only get the palette though on the Kokie website, or I think they also have it on Amazon, but it's so affordable and honestly it performs just like the Kat Von D one, except it's not $55. So next I'm taking this CoverGirl True Blend Bronzer. I'm not sure what color it's in or if it just comes in one color because I can't see on the back. But this is kind of similar to my Hourglass Ambient Bronzer in the sense where it will give you a soft sheen but it's not glittery. So I'm just going to put this like right here on my forehead and then a little bit on the back of my cheek just to give a soft like summery springy glow without being too intense. So next I'm just going to set and bake my under eyes using one of my favorite drugstore powders. This is the Maybelline Fit Me in Fair Clear. I like how this gives me extra coverage underneath of my eye, brightens, but it's not too intense or like too thick of a powder. I'm just going to press it here first and then bring it down the sides of my nose. And I'm going to let this powder sit here while I do my eyeshadow. That way it'll catch any fallout. I'm also going to use it to bake underneath my contour. But I'm going to wipe that off right away. I don't want that to sit while I'm doing my whole eyeshadow or else this area starts to look super, super light. This will just help clean up the bronzer. And then I'll just buff it away right away. So I will be prepping my eyelids with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I know that this is not from the drugstore. e.l.f. does have an eyeshadow primer. You could also use a more mattifying concealer to prime, but I just swear by this paint pot. Like, I don't know, I just feel like nothing compares. I used to use concealer to set my eyelids, but I just found that then my lids started creasing more as I got older. So I really like how this just like smooths out the lids, prevents it from creasing, and just helps the shadows blend out so much easier. So for today's eye look, I'll be using my Jaclyn Hill times Morphe palette. This is the second palette she came out with. And this eye look is actually inspired by a recent makeup tutorial that she uploaded on her channel. I saw it and then I recreated it the following day, and then I ended up wearing it in a video that I posted, my last 2 videos. And a lot of you guys wanted to see how I did my makeup look. So it's pretty much just like her tutorial. I think I switched up a couple of colors. So honestly, I mean, you could pretty much just watch her tutorial or you could just watch how I do it. I'm gonna start off by taking Perfectionist and the JH30 brush. I love this brush for just throwing a color all over the lid. It makes it super quick and easy to blend out. And I always start my shadows in the inside here, and then I'll buff it out and up. This look is very similar to hers, but the placement of where I'm gonna place the shadows for this look are different for me because we have completely different eye shapes. She focuses a lot of the darker colors out here. And for me, I find that if I focus too much darkness out here, it will drag my eyes down even more because I have like dog eyes, droopy dog eyes. So I can't like, if I put too much shadow there, it just starts to look funny. Or like when I do place darker shadows out there, I don't place it right here. I'll like place it higher up and blend it up. So I think that's an important thing to note just in general. Whenever you're following a makeup tutorial, make sure that you are altering it to fit your skin needs, your eye shape, your eye color, things like that. Like, it's great to get inspired by looks that I do even, but like you just want to make sure that it'll work good for your skin type, your eye shape, things like that. Let me know if you guys would want to see me bring like more people on here and doing like other people's makeup, so that way you could see different techniques and stuff that I would do on like different skin tones, different eye shapes, different skin types. You're gonna use different products, different brushes depending on your eye shape. Like for example, this blending brush that I'm going in with right now, if you have barely any lid space, do not use this brush because it's literally gonna like blend it up literally like past your eyebrow. I'm just taking that same color again and just intensifying the shade a little bit more. I love how this color matches my top right now. Then next I'm taking the JH34 brush. It's like a slightly smaller, denser but still fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna pick up the color, I'm gonna take the color Thick Skin, a little bit of that, and again I'm gonna focus it in here and then blend it out and up. And the reason why I focus in that inner part first is because the inner corner of my eye goes slightly higher than my outer corner. That's why my eyes they droop downward, which I don't mind. I think I have like different cool eyes. But whenever I want to like lift my eye a little bit more, I try to like darken up this part more to bring it down more, and then have this part be like a little bit more lifted and brighter to lift this side of my eye up so that I have more of like an elongated eye. Sometimes I'll even bring it like way out past my brow. You guys, I miss doing makeup so much on other people, like you have no idea. So yeah, if you guys do want to see how I do makeup on other people, let me know, because I'd be so happy to just like not do makeup on myself. I just feel like it's way more fun and inspiring playing with different eye shapes, skin colors, skin types. Like, so much fun. Whereas like on yourself, you got the same canvas every day. I'm just taking that first blending brush and just buffing everything out just to make sure there are no harsh edges. I'm gonna take a MAC 242 brush. This is my favorite color for packing shades all over the lid. And I'm gonna take the shade Certified. This like light color here. It's nice because it's like a shimmery matte white. And I'm gonna coat both sides of my brush. And then I'm just gonna lay down the color here, like starting in my inner tear duct, and then just kind of like wiggle it. That way I have a ton of color payoff. I'll flip over to add some more color payoff. And then I'm just blending it out. I'm gonna take whatever's left on my last blending brush and just buff out the edges real quick. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of Grateful and a dot of Crazy, and with that same brush, this time I'm gonna focus it kind of like right here super lightly and just blend it inward and down and out and then up. Same for this side. I'm not even dipping back in, just taking whatever's left and then taking also what's left and buffing that in this outer edge here. This is so like springy and fun. I love it. All right, so then we're gonna go back into that light color, the shade Certified, and I'm just going to intensify that inner corner just a little bit more. This is a part that excited me the most. Taking the color I'm in it and putting that in my inner corner. It just looks so pretty. Like, I used to be upset with this palette because it didn't have just like a regular inner corner highlight. This one has like a pinky purple iridescent finish to it. But especially on brown eyes, it really just makes everything pop. So I'm taking a slightly like small fluff brush, and I like for it to be more fluffy. That way it just like really buffs it out. So I like to just take it starting at the tear duct and then just blending it up. It's so flippin' stunning. Do you guys see that? So subtle, but so pretty. And then I'm going to take a smaller fluff brush and I'm going to take the shade Crazy and Grateful again and just apply a little more of that on the outer edge. This time I'm going to be using my straight edge and just tapping it. That's so pretty. Now taking another small fluff brush, I'm just gonna take this matte color. You could also just take the same matte color we put on our lid. And I'm just gonna lightly buff underneath of my brow bone. This also just helps to make sure that all of the crease colors are nicely blended. And I'm gonna take a little bit of the color that we have on our lid, just because it's a little bit brighter, and just put it right at the high point. Then for the brows, I'm taking my Got To Be Glued styling gel, and I'm just gonna comb this through my eyebrows. All right, so once I have that through my brows to kind of like lay them down, I'm gonna take my CoverGirl brow gel in the shade Light Pale. This is tinted, and I have been loving to do this, just taking like a tinted brow gel, going in my brows, and this will help like fill in the sparse areas, and then I'll just take a pen to like outline them. And I just find that it gives my brow a way more natural effect, makes it so much quicker and easier to do. So I'm just gonna comb this through and just use this to do like the all over filling, and then I'll just shape them in a second with a pen. So now I'll take my NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. This is in the shade Espresso, and I'm just gonna start doing little hairs just to kind of like outline and define. So now I'm just gonna wipe away the under eye bake. Then taking any pencil brush, I'm gonna take the color Comfort Zone and actually use that to buff out my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the color Crazy and put that just right on my actual lashes. And go back in with the first pencil brush and buff that out. Alright, now taking my Physicians Formula eye pen, I'm just going to kind of like tight line my top lash line. Now we're going to take the ColourPop Super Shock highlighter in Whisk. This is my favorite because it's like a creamy, powdery, like a cream to powder highlight almost. It gives your skin the most beautiful like glisten, and it kind of reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beauty Wand that I'm obsessed with, except this one's a fraction of the cost. I'm going to take it with the tip of the blush brush that I was using and just start patting that like on the high point of my cheek. I just love how it melts right into the skin and doesn't look like a chunky glittery highlight. And then I'm just going to take the butt of my beauty sponge and press it into the skin. I'm also going to apply it on the sides of my forehead, on the tip of my nose. And then I'm going to set my face using my e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. I'm going to go in with this one first and then my Maybelline Lasting Setting Spray. This will help melt everything in, give a more hydrated like glow to the skin. And then this will help more so with like the longevity of the makeup. Alright you guys, I'm going to do the mascara and lashes off camera because they're so boring. For my lower lashes, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Sky High Mascara because it just really separates the lash and gives a more like doll eye effect. And then for my top lashes, I'm using the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I'm going to go in with my favorite Amazon lashes. I use it all the time. Again, I'll leave it linked down below, and I'll be back for the lip combo. So for the lip color, I'm going to be using this new discovery. It is the Revlon Color Stay Overtime 16-Hour Lip Color. This is in the shade Constantly Coral. It is going to be a little bit bold for this makeup, but I think it'll kind of like tie it nice and be super springy. You guys, this lip color is transfer proof, mask proof. It has like the long lasting color on one side and then the gloss on the other side. But before I apply that, I'm going to apply my NYX Downtown Beauty lip pencil. It's one of my favorite just like nudie brownie pencils. Then I'm going to apply the gloss that it comes with on top. Alright you guys, and that wraps it up for this drugstore makeup look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this look. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments down below and give the video a thumbs up. And don't forget to check out Dossier Fragrances. I'll leave it linked down below to smell super luxurious on a budget. That's my motto in life. Anyways, I love you all so much. I pray that you all stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!